Good morning, children. So, yesterday we have started our new chapter, Static Electricity, and today our first topic is Gold Leaf Electroscope 15.5. Okay, children. So, gold leaf electroscope is a sensitive instrument. With its help, the presence of charge in any object can be detected. Okay, so the electroscope generally contains a metallic rod, you can see in this diagram, placed in a glass jar. One end of the rod is connected to a metal coil above the mouth of the jar. The other end of the metallic rod has a golden foil with two leaves placed on it. The leaves are inside the jar. Okay. So when a charged object is brought close to the upper end of the gold leaf electroscope, its gold leaves moves away from each other. This is because the foil gets charged due to induction. On removing the charged object, the leaves collapse and become close to each other. It would be appropriate to perform the above experiment in a dry atmosphere. So children, you can see in this picture two gold leaves are there. When you will bring the object, it gold leaves moves away from each other, and so basically it helps to detect the charge of any object. Okay. Now our next topic is charge in atmosphere. Okay, so thundering clouds and lightnings are known to people since the primitive ages. Through some experiments also, it has been observed that tiny drops of water in the clouds develop positive charge. You can see in this picture, and bigger and heavier drops have negative charge. Positively charged tiny drops, due to their light weight, move upward the upper part of the cloud, and finally with the air, and the negatively charged drops move towards the lower part. You can see in this picture charged has mentioned. So the large force of attraction between these opposite charge on the clouds prevents the charges from coming closer, and they neutralize each other. So when the amount of charge is very large, the electrical insulation can break, and in such a situation electric charge can flow through the air. When this happens, the air gets heated to a very high temperature, and due to electrical energy, and starts luminescing, means lightning. This process is called electrical discharge. While this process only, you can see the lightning thundering in the sky. Okay, so we see the luminescence of air in the form of lightning in the sky. This sustains for a very short duration. The cracking sound produced by the lightning discharge can be very intense, and we hear it as a thundering cloud. Sometimes you might have seen that at the time of lightning, the discharge flows to the ground, tall trees, buildings, or other structure, and damage them. And when this happens, we say that lightning has struck. Lightning can even hurt human beings and animals. Sometimes it happens, and it causes death also. In mountainous regions, lightning is more common than in plains. So once again I am saying, tiny drops of water in the clouds develop positive charge. Bigger and heavier drops have negative charge. Both these charges develops a force of attraction, and prevents them from coming closer to each other, and neutralize each other effect. When the amount of charge is very large, the electrical insulation can break, and in such a situation electrical insulation start, and that's why we are seeing luminescing in the atmosphere. That is only called lightning. Okay, so mountainous regions have more lightning than in plains. Now our next topic is lightning conductor. So it is not that electrical discharge can only occur between clouds and opposite charge. Sometimes the discharge also occurs between the large clouds and the earth. For example, if a charged cloud comes closer to the earth and passes over some tall buildings or tree, then an opposite charge is induced in them, and consequently the charges occurs between the clouds and that tall building, and this cause damage the building. As I told you earlier also, children, sometimes the thundering may struck the tall buildings and trees, and that is only called lightning, which destroys the places or buildings. And so as to prevent it, tall buildings from getting struck by lightning, lightning conductors are used. In this picture you can see it is a lightning conductor. This conductor consists of a thick and flat metallic rod with the upper end shaped like a trident. Okay, next picture you're going to see like a trident, and this conductor is fixed at the, see this trident in the upper end of the building, and this conductor is fixed at the highest point of the building, and the lower end of the rod is connected with the copper plate. You can see in this picture very nicely, buried deep inside the ground. See, one end is the trident, another one is made up of lower plate. copper plate and buried deep inside the ground. When the charge clouds passes over the building, then a charge opposite charge is produced in the upper part of the conductor by the process of induction, and in this time an electrical discharge takes place between the cloud and the lightning conductor. The whole charge goes to the ground through the rod and there is no damage to the building. So children, here we have completed our chapter static electricity. Next class you are going to get the question answers of this chapter. Till that time, thank you.